Today we are going to take a look at all of the Steam reviews and see which Total War expansions are ranked the worst and which the best. Here we go. Before we begin though, one basic rule. I am counting an expansion or DLC as campaign only. No blood and gore packs, no texture packs, just the ones that have a campaign. I may do one covering those in the future, I don't know, depends how well this one does. Also, sadly we cannot see the reviews for Shogun 1 and Medieval 1 Total Wars expansions, and Barbarian Invasion, which is very unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about that. Fall of the Samurai will count as a standalone game, as we covered it in the previous list already, so no point putting it in here also. These are not my opinions, remember that. Lastly, this is not a perfect system, I know. Some have more sales, some have more time to get better reviews or worse reviews. Some have been review bombed for outside reasons, and some expansions, like the older ones, released on disc first and Steam later, which will also affect their reviews. This is not a perfect ranking system. But anyway, let's begin. Right at the bottom, the worst ever Total War campaign expansion. It is for Three Kingdoms Total War, and it's 8 Princes. The 8 Princes DLC takes place before the events of Three Kingdoms, and overall it has 36% positive review rating. Only 36%, that is terrible, especially for something Total War related. Most of the complaints being that it's too bare bones, that there's not enough variety, that it feels too similar to the main game, stuff like that. In 10th place, and this one did surprise me, Wrath of Sparta DLC for Rome 2 Total War with only 57% positive review rating. However, I do believe a lot of the negative reviews were a bit unfair from what I saw. I don't know, I felt it got a bit unlucky with some of the Steam reviews. They didn't seem to actually fit the game that much. But still, it's down there, 10th place, 57%, and as I said, you know, this list is not done to be perfect. Number 9, we have Rome 2 Total Wars Rise of the Republic, where you start in the early days of Rome with the early wars against Etrusca and try and conquer Italy, also warring against the southern Greek states as well. And then in number 8 we have the prior DLC, Empire Divided, also for Rome 2, with only 63% positive review rating. Most people said that this was a dull campaign, that it was a bit slow, felt very repetitive as well. The way that I see this DLC is it happens between Rome 2 and Attila, and it really does take the worst of both games. However, that's not the only one in 8th place with 63%. We have actually a 3-way tie here. Also with 63, we have Empire Total War, the Warpath campaign, and Three Kingdoms is Mandate of Heaven DLC. Number 7, and this one annoys me so much. This is the best campaign expansion CA has ever made. The best by far. Age of Charlemagne, but the reviews put it in 7th. And, you know, remember what I said at the start, this is not my opinion, this overall list. Ooh, that annoys me. 67% positive review rating. Most of the negative reviews posted, I either disagree with, or I believe maybe looking into it a bit too far, hanging the game too much on small details. But yeah, I love Age of Charlemagne, and I do think it is the best expansion ever. In rival with Barbarian Invasion and Kingdoms. Number 6, ooh, this just annoys me even more. Last Roman. The fact that the Last Roman got 2% higher, 1 place higher, at 69% positive review rating than Age of Charlemagne. Sorry. Most of the dislikes for Last Roman was because it's too military focused. In 5th place, top 5, and we have a tie. Rise of the Samurai for Shogun 2 Total War, and Hannibal at the Gates for Rome 2 Total War, both at 70%, and both also the first campaign expansion for their title. Okay, now I've finished recording this video by this point, but I've just realised I actually forgot to cover number 4. But oh well, we'll get to it now. In 4th place, I can edit it all in, with 71% positive review rating, we have a tie. We have a tie in 4th place, between Rome 2's Caesar in Gaul and Rome 1's Alexander. That's right, the Alexander campaign actually made it all the way up to 4th place. I did not expect that. I do like it, but I did not think the community would play it that high. Caesar in Gaul, yeah, okay, I can understand it being there. Yeah, I can understand that. Top 3, in 3rd place, and it's one for 3 Kingdoms. It's amazing how 3 Kingdoms had one expansion that had 36% positive review rating, in last place, and now they've got one in 3rd place at 74%, and it is for World Betrayed. If I am being honest though, I had no idea what this expansion is about. I actually had to go Google it. It takes place in the far future of the 3 Kingdoms storyline, once most of the characters are dead. So yeah, in the far future. But overall, most people do seem to like it. 74% positive review rating. It really does seem like CA did improve their way of doing DLC for 3 Kingdoms. You know, first one, 8 Princes, 36% positive, then Mandate of Heaven, 63%, and now World Betrayed at 74%. It does seem they've gotten much better at it, which is always good to see. And this gets very interesting now, because 3rd place is at 74% positive reviews, but 2nd place, it jumps the rest of the 70s, it jumps all the 80s, and it is at 90%. Like, the entire 80% mark is non-existent. It just jumps up to 90%, and it's for Napoleon Total War's Peninsula Campaign, which of course takes place in Iberia, where you've got you know, the French invading, you've got the British trying to save the day, as usual, you know. Yeah, the Peninsula Campaign. I did not expect it to be this high on the list. 2nd place, 90%. That is quite impressive. Okay, and for 1st place, but before we get into 1st place, I want to say that if Rome Total War's Barbarian Invasion was, you know, sold as an expansion rather than connected with the base game, so we can actually see the reviews, like how Alexander is sold, then I believe it would have actually gotten 2nd place instead. My guess would be about 90 to 92% positive reviews for Barbarian Invasion, but sadly it's not here. Instead, you know, for 1st place, we have, pretty obvious, Medieval 2 Total Wars Kingdoms expansion. 94% positive review rating. It comes with 4 different campaigns: Crusades, Teutonic, Americas, and British. Each one very unique to the other. Overall, I personally do prefer Barbarian Invasion and Age of Charlemagne, but still, you know, it's definitely in my top 3. It would be my 3rd favourite DLC. Definitely a very good one. So there it is. Number 1, Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms expansion. And that is everything from this tier list. I do hope you enjoyed it. Nothing serious. Remember, if you disagree, that's okay. You're not disagreeing with me, so yeah. You're disagreeing with yourself. There we go. Jokes aside, I do hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, it's not a perfect ranking system. It's not even a serious video. We're just looking in to see what Steam says, just for a bit of fun, and I do hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more like this, please do subscribe, like and share with anyone you think may be interested. I've been MELKOR, and until the next one, goodbye.